Are we all okay? You okay?
Yes.
Yeah, good stuff. My name's Mark, that's David. We'll be taking you around the stadium today. I'd like to welcome you all to Anfield. Now, when we're inside, there's no restrictions on photography. You can take as many photographs as you like. Any questions at all, just ask. If you need any help with photographs, if you need the toilets, anything, just ask us, okay? We do have one rule, however, and that's that you don't step onto the pitch. Please don't step on the pitch, or we will have to stop the tour, okay? Now, if you can just have your white tickets ready for me, we're just going to go through those gates at the bottom, do a right, and then we'll check your tickets and get you inside, okay? So would you like to follow me?
Now, yes. I have all the tickets.
Just get your white pink tickets already.
Oh, I know, yeah. This must have been. I know, yeah.
Come round for us, everyone. Come round.
Okay guys, now when we're inside the stadium and the fire alarm sounds, just follow me and David outside and we'll lead you down there by them gates at the bottom, okay? That's the fire meeting point. Now just to the right of those gates is the Shankly gates, the ones that say you'll never walk alone across the top, and also the Hillsborough Memorial as well. Now we don't take you there on the tour simply because it's outside of the stadium, but if you would like to go in your own time, it's just down there on the right, okay? We didn't put us let you visit it in your own time. Just go up the side streets to get to it, and it's down there on the right, okay? You want to follow me in?
Use all the space, everyone. You've got cameras.
Okay, everyone, just all gather round for us, please, for 2 minutes. Come round, yeah. Don't worry, you've got plenty of time to take photographs, don't worry about that. Okay, good afternoon. My name's David, I'll be a tour guide alongside Mark. Welcome inside of Anfield, home of Liverpool Football Club. 18 times league champions, 5 times European Cup winners. Now, we are very proud of our history here at the club. Before we start our tour off, anybody not support Liverpool? It's okay, yeah. What team?
West Ham.
West Ham. Madrid. Real Madrid, yeah.
I was there last week.
Switzerland. Any other football teams in? No, whatever team you support, you're all welcome inside the stadium. Get plenty of teams. This room and inside now, this is called our Legends room. Now, we always begin the tour inside this room first. Obvious reasons, if it wasn't for these men that you see, some of the past managers, some of the past players that you see around the walls, Liverpool would not be the club that we are today. Now, a few moments ago, we started our tour off by this man's statue here, getting moved along, but that's where it normally is. Bill Shankly came to Liverpool in 1959. For those who don't know, at that time, we were in the 2nd division. We were a club just going down and down, going nowhere, basically. By the time he left, in 1974, he'd made us one of the biggest clubs in England. Without him, Liverpool would not be the club that we are. After Shankly, Bob Paisley, Liverpool's most successful ever manager in terms of lifting cups. Does anyone know how many trophies Paisley won when he was the boss? Any guesses?
No idea.
Come on, take a guess.
10.
10, 19. 1, 9, 19. Yeah. He won 19 trophies in just 9 years. Unbelievable. After Bob Paisley, we had Joe Fagan, the first man in England to ever win a treble. 3 trophies, 1 season. After Joe, we had this man. Sure, most of you recognise him, the younger ones as well. The King, Kenny Dalglish. Great player for us, great manager, always be a legend at Liverpool. Now, there's so many great players that decorate these walls. You might not recognise faces, don't worry. Just picking out a couple of important ones inside the space. That player there, going like that with his fingers and his moustache, it's of course the great Ian Rush. His record is, he has scored the most goals for Liverpool. He scored 346 times for the club. No one scored more than that. 2 photographs along to your right, you'll see another Ian, for his arm round Bob Paisley. His name is Ian Callaghan. His record is played the most games for Liverpool. Does anyone know how many games he played for the club? Any guesses? 857. He played 857 times for Liverpool. In that time, he got 1 yellow card. 1 booking in 18 years. Never got sent off in his career. Before we leave this room, there's 2 pictures that I want to point out. They're very relevant on your tour. Just keep them up there in your head for me. Follow me into this corner for a moment. If you're a little bit smaller, push your way towards the front. I don't mind. Come round for us. Yeah, use all the space. It's okay. I'm not going to bite. This picture here, that was taken with Shankly and the team 1971. 1971. Keep that picture up there because later on we're going inside that room and you can see how much it's changed. From then up until now. Do you think it's changed quite a bit? With all the money? Yeah. You might be a little bit shocked when you go inside that room later. Keep that up there. Anyone know what this photograph is here? Boot room. Yeah, this is called the boot room. If you don't know what the boot room is, don't worry, you'll learn about it. Very famous in English football, that room. Keep that there, because later on we're going where that room used to be, inside Anfield, okay? You've got now 2 minutes, take a look around, get some pictures. We move on, we don't come back this room. So we'll give you now 2 minutes to have a little walk around, and we're going to move on, okay? If anyone's got a question, need the photograph taken, ask us.
Later.
For our Spanish people as well, Rafa Benitez. Rafa is getting put here by the European Cup very soon. So Rafa Benitez, he's getting put up in the room as well. The youngest legend is this man here, Robbie Fowler. Yeah, younger ones will know. If you want to get a photograph there, you can do. And let's see.
Perfect. Okay. If you want, I can do photo with you. Okay.
Just follow me, everyone. Come down here. Take a seat. Make yourselves comfortable. And I'll press an easy move. If you need any photos, ask us. Okay, we'll take the photo.
Media room where the manager will give interviews of a match day. Brendan Rodgers will sit just here. The press, the journalists will sit just here where you guys are. Just at the back is where the cameraman stands with the camera. Films the two managers, the opposition and the home manager, and the boards in the background. Very important that we see the boards in the background because that's where we get a lot of our money from. Standard Chartered and Warrior pays £45 million a season, so it's very important that we see those images on the TV. Now, anyone who's seen this room before on the TV is probably thinking it looks a bit different. It looks a lot smaller. That's because on TV, we only see the boards. We don't see any of this around them. In our heads, it's a state-of-the-art television studio, but now you know the secret. It's not. Now, just over here is a picture of what this room used to be. It used to be the boot room. This was the original entrance door. She's finding it funny, isn't she? Yeah. It used to come out from this lift, out about 12 feet, and then went straight across over there, just in this area where I'm stood right now. Now, as you can see, the boot room was where the players left the boots. It was where the players left the boots and the apprentice players would go and clean them for them. But it was much more important than that. It was also where the managers would sit before the game and they'd discuss the tactics. It was known as the engine room for the football club. It was where all the decisions were made, the tactics, the formations, the potential signings, and it was widely regarded as the reason for all of our success in the 70s and the 80s. It was a tradition that stayed here for over 30 years. Now, what happened was the Premier League started in the early 90s, and they requested that we have one of these, a press room. Unfortunately, the boot room got knocked down. We had to knock it down to extend this room. And since you've knocked it down, we haven't won the league. So, there you go. Some people think it's a superstition, a coincidence, an excuse. Think of it what you will. But that's why we bring you in here, so you can make your own mind up. Now, if you want to get some photos sat down there in front of the board, you can do that. We'll take you down to the dressing room in about 5 minutes. But for now, please sit down, fire away. Any questions, just ask, okay? Come on.
We're not coming back this way, everyone, so if you want to get a picture in the seats, get it now. We're not coming. Follow up, feel that engine in there. Mind the step on the way out, 2 steps, the tickets are. Straight up there for me, please.
è una persona.
We kind of stay we can go wherever we want.
Yeah, we're coming back out in a minute. If you just want to head in there for now, and then we'll be out in about 5 minutes.
We come back here.
Okay.
Okay, just inside there for now.
Yeah.
We come back here.
Okay, okay.
Okay, yes, we're just inside there.
Pero es que no
Mucha gente, pocas personas.
Okay, everyone, just take a seat for us, please, 2 minutes. Okay, welcome inside the home team dressing room of Liverpool Football Club. Has anyone ever been inside this room before in the past? Yeah? Anyone else? For those who haven't been in, are they shocked by how basic the room is? Sometimes people come in, they expect it to be a lot bigger, a lot posher, a lot more modern. The stadium, the club, it's very old school. Yeah, no fancy Ricardo chairs, the players sit back, put their feet up, chill out. The players sit on wooden benches. Probably noticed, where's the locker rooms inside the room for the players' stuff? We haven't even got them. Premiership terms, it's about as basic as it gets. But there's one thing inside this room that all the money in the world can never buy, and that's history, tradition. Yeah, just think of the past managers, the past players, the cups that have came from this room. You just take a look at that picture, pointed that out, 1971, 42 years ago, that was taken in here. If I stand where he stood, Bill Shankly, which is here, you go like that. Where the players are sat, that's where you always sat. Yeah. The same image 42 years ago. Take a look around the room. The pegs are still in the same place. The size has not changed. 40 years. Now the new floor put in, it might look very glamorous, it cost a bit of money, the floor. This floor is made for studs on players' boots to mould. So players can have their boots on, they can warm up, they won't slip. It is a 100% non-slip floor. You look at players' shirts now as well, in a particular order. Goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders, strikers. The reason that's in place, communication for the players. Yeah? You sit next to a player, you play next to out on the football pitch. You don't come in, you don't sit by your best mate. Get focused, you sit in team formation. This red door here, nowadays that's got to stay locked. It's the player's shower room, the bathing area. Again, very basic. They've got 7 stand-up showers and 2 small little baths for the players. You come in, hot shower, cold shower, ice bath. Ice bath, hot shower, repeat that process. Helps the players' muscles in the body, going from hot to cold. Any bumps, any knocks, any bruises, heals them a lot quicker as well. That red door, just round there. Mark just spoke about the old Anfield bit room. When Rafa was here, I know we've got a few Spanish on tour, yeah, Rafa Benitez heard about it, tried to bring it back a little bit, Benitez. We got that room built on in 2007. The very same size as the old Anfield boot room, where the press room is now. It is different, main difference being there's no boots inside the room, so it's not really a boot room. But that's where Brendan Rodgers now, the coaches will go away from the players. If a player wants to go inside that room, respect the boss, you give it a little knock on the door, or Brendan will say, listen, you've done something wrong, you want to away with you. So it's similar to the old boot room. With the shirts now that are hung up, you can't touch them, You can hug them, you can sniff them, kiss them, whatever you want. You get all that, don't worry. Just don't take the hangers off the hooks, please. Okay? Leave the shirts on the wall. Away team is open. You want to go inside the away team. Couple of differences. Like I said, we've got a 100% non-stick floor. Away team, they haven't got a 100% non-stick floor. We've got air conditioning, which you can feel. Away team, they haven't. We've got heating, away team haven't. We've got soundproofing as well. You cannot hear the crowd above in this room. Away team, next season, Mourinho, Ufa, Pellegrini, Boaz, David Moyes now, United, hear the crowd noise, the singing and the cheering, people walking across. You never know, it might place a little seed of doubt in the players' minds. Also, a funny one as well, the mirrors. Look in the mirror, you get a normal reflection back looking at you. Away team mirrors, anyone ever been in a fun house? Look in mirrors, the mirrors go distorted, your body shape goes a bit funny looking. That's what the mirrors are like. Go around, look at them, check them out. You've got time now as well to get your picture with the famous sign, "This is Anfield." Go down, you can go like this, you can touch it, that's fine. All I ask is don't go past it, yeah please. Once you've got it, come back up the stairs for me. 5 minutes, go outside, come back in whenever you want, okay? If you want the picture that you want to leave, take it.
Yeah, this is the away team. So,
I'm raising up.
You going to touch it?
Hands up.
So, both things together with the card. Let's go. To make a video or something. That is the players maybe when they go out.
Welcome to Rain 52.
Hey, Papa.
Anyway, this stand here, that's the most famous stand. That's called... Is that what, sorry? Yeah, the most passionate fans.
We're in the reserve, so we're
Okay guys, now this is the dugout. This is where the manager and the substitutes sit of a match day. Our dugout's very different to most others though, and that's because we share with the opposition. Home team sit here and the away team sit here. We sit together. It is one of the only shared dugouts you'll find in world football. Creates a great atmosphere. It can get very intense in this area of a match day, depending on who we play. Now it's located in the paddock, which is part of the main stand. If you look behind yourselves, you'll notice it's the oldest part of the stadium, the main stand, because the seats are still the old wooden ones. The majority of them are originals from when the stadium was first built in 1906, over 100 years ago. Just there you see a grey wall with the Standard Chartered sign on. Just behind that is the director's box, the padded seats with the armrests. That's where the club's owners sit of a match day. So any VIP guests, any celebrities, that's where they sit up there, okay? Just behind me over there is the centenary stand. It's called the centenary stand because we built it in 1992 when the club was 100 years old. It used to be a single tier stand called the Kenman Road. When we extended it, we put on the 30 executive boxes, the upper tier, the larger executive box at the end, and the one on top of that is the television studio where you'd see Sky Sports of a match day. That one down there is the Anfield Road. The bottom tier from pillar 1 right up to behind the goal is reserved for the away fans. That's around 3,500 seats. Depending on who we play, depends on how busy that area is. If we play Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, the home derby against Everton, that section always sells out. But smaller teams, they do struggle to sell their allocation. So that black net gets moved across, and the unsold tickets on this side go and sell to us, the Liverpool fans, so we can fill the stadium up. That one there is the Cop. That's the most famous stand inside the stadium. I won't tell you too much about it because we'll take you down there in a minute and David will tell you all about it, okay? Now the capacity of the entire stadium is 45,522, which is very small for the club of our size. So we do now have plans to extend Anfield. From what we know, it will be the main stand and the Anfield Road that we extend, up to a capacity of around 60 to 65,000. Every other week, on average, we turn away 30,000 fans that want to come and watch the game. We also have a season ticket waiting list, and at the last count, there were just over 90,000 people on it. So as you can see, we do desperately need a bigger stadium, and hopefully we will get one very soon. Any questions at all? No? Okay. Well, if you want to get some photos here, you can do that, and then we'll take you down to the Cop, okay? Thank you. Okay, everyone, welcome to one of, if not the most famous football stands in the world. Spion Cop, Spion Cop, or what we call it today for short, most fans. Now, the term Spion Cop comes from a battle of Boer War, which took place in South Africa in 1900, where over 300 men from this area, Liverpool, Manchester, Lancashire, the northwest of England, lost their lives on a hill called Spion Cop. In the 1900s, this end of Anfield was one big green grass hill, similar to the hill in South Africa. So fans gave it the nickname the Spion Cop Hill, after all the men that fell. But it wasn't until 1928, the club said, let's give it that name. 1928, they built on a rooftop, not that roof, I'm sure you've gathered that. They put in concrete and made it a concrete terrace for our fans. Now, I'm sure you realise, wherever you're from around the world, this end is the most famous part of the stadium. Back in its heyday in the 1950s,
the 1960s, 70s, 80s, right up until 1994. Most of you will probably know. This end had no seats. Back then, just an all-standing terrace. That held officially about 28,000 people. Unofficially, big games, big nights, more like 34, 35,000. Just all standing up this one end. Just to give you a bit of a picture of that today, take every single seat in the main stand, Paddock, the Anfield Road, Centenary, get every single seat, and then besides, add 2,000 more, get all them seats and put them into this one end. It's also the same as taking out one plastic chair, take that chair away, put in that little space, 3 fully built males. It's every one chair. But the old standing cop, if anyone's here now, be on it, use a note for yourselves. Very intense, very physical. For 90 minutes, never stop moving. You're on a human time. Get put in front, get brought back on yourself, get put over one side, get put over the other side. Wherever the football was on the pitch, the crowd followed it. If you began the game, somewhere over there, with 5 of your friends, the full-time whistle could be anywhere. Be over there, you'd have 5 of your mates over on that side. If you were in the front or in the middle, you best be ready for it. Your feet just get swept up from everyone behind you. From top to bottom, the crowd will come down as one, just forward. You get down here, if you was in the front, unlucky for you, you come to your wall, about 4 foot, you hit the wall, just have to run back up. A lot of the time, people just faked it, just collapsed on it. So many people. Now, say you were at the very back, and you collapsed when the game was on. God's help you, you had problems. Very difficult for a paramedic, an ambulance person, to get up there. So fans always did the bit. You'd tap your mate, you'd say, look, Jimmy's collapsed, let's get him down the front quick. You'd pick the person up, ever seen a rock concert, a gig, from top to bottom, you'd shout, man over the top, the crowd sings again. Yeah. Because everyone wants to watch the game, they couldn't really care less, something like that. Hurry up, get out of the way, trying to watch the match. From there to here, we were doing about 50 miles an hour. 10 seconds. Right over. Yeah. You get down here, you have fences then, you have the steel cages, the fans would have to lift it over, they'd lay it out in the grass, the fella with the bucket, the sponge, run over to them, give them a little slap, wake them up, give them some water. Once you get the breath back, say to them, you want to get back in, go on, feel free. You jump back in, you say, I'm getting back up there again. Fans would lift you back up, just bounce you back up. Yeah. So it wasn't very safe. You asked the fans that were on it, very exciting. The atmosphere it created back in them days, unbelievable. Right. Nowadays, it's a lot safer, it's all seated. It goes back 76 rows and it holds 12,500 people. It still is the biggest single tier stand in England to this very day. 1994 was the last game in front of a standing cop. Anyone know who we played that day? Begins with N. No. Norwich. Played Norwich that day. Liverpool got beat 1-0 by Norwich. But the result, it didn't matter really. All the fans came for, true story, stand on the cop for one last game, the old cop. You had fans coming in, true story, hammers, hitting their coats, a chisel, a drill, a full-time whistle, all the fans on the cop went to work on the stand. Yeah, demolished it. You had fans going home, fully grown men crying, tears in their eyes, taking over concrete, slab of concrete, a toilet, a sink, exit sign, crash barriers, toilet seats. The fans went to work on it and took it home. The workmen came in on the Monday morning, started all the work. There wasn't much work to do for them. The stand just nearly all gone to the floor. That's how much it meant back then. People say now the atmosphere is not as good as it was back then. Okay, football's moved on. 12,500, 35,000 people standing up. Big difference. But I'm sure you're all aware, whatever team you support, this stand, this stadium, fantastic sight on a match day. Has anyone got any final questions at all for myself or for Mark about the club, the stadium, the pitch? Anything that we haven't touched on that you'd like to ask? Standing here. Scary. Any other questions at all? No? Okay, you have 2 minutes now. Get some pictures. Red and white tape on row 15. You can go as far back as row 15, but don't go over. Okay? Stand there, get the picture. Myself and Mark will take you out.